Okay, we just said something else in third here.
Start with the pledge, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Trombley.
Here.
Trustee McFetrich. Here. Trustee Trombley.
Here.
Trustee Garrett. Here. Mayor Martin.
Here. Motion to approve the minutes of November 14th, 2016 board meeting.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any additions, deletions, discussion here?
No.
No, I didn't see anything
No,
wrong
I
with
didn't say anything.
As did I. Okay,
Yep.
all those in favor of passing this resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Excuse me. Presentation of petitions, communications, notices, general question period for members of the community. No one here tonight, so we'll move right on. Mr. Tatro?
You have my report. I was off on vacation a couple weeks in November, so I just got caught up on a few COs and stuff that have been piling up on my desk all summer long. Jobs that are finished or cleaned up. Other than that, there's really not a lot going on. Day-to-day issues, few complaints.
You did check them our home. You did check the Dragoon building, Kim?
I'm sorry?
You were worried about the Dragoon building,
Yes.
Lions, Trombley's?
Yeah, there's some loose stones on the corner. I don't believe that they're load bearing. I mean, they're pretty loose, nothing's moving. Eventually they are gonna fall out, there's no doubt about it, but so aren't a lot of things in that building gonna fall out, so.
Being kind.
So what's our recourse if that happens over the winter? Because I can't see those stones staying in place until spring.
I mean, ultimately, it's up to the landlord to do something with it. I mean, I can get after him for an unsafe structure, but
I thought we were gonna send him a letter just requesting, you're just asking if his intentions were to do any more work.
yeah, you did mention that, and I didn't send the letter yet. Kind of forgot about it, tell you the truth.
Okay.
Send it this way.
But I can.
Okay.
If he chooses to do something, it'd be great, but I'm not too optimistic there.
It's
No.
just so he's on record, or we're on record.
Yes.
That we're concerned about it, and we're wondering what
Yeah.
his intentions are. Does he have some sort of a plan? You know,
Yeah.
any expectations of doing work on it?
Well, my concern is that that falls out and someone gets hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be addressed eventually.
We have a couple like that. The one that we've been after for a long time. You wanna tell them about this?
Oh, the one with the fence around it, we had court again last week, and one more time it got postponed. This time he's in Barbados. So we can't proceed, and according to the judge, this could go on indefinitely, because it's a civil matter, not a criminal matter. There's nothing that forces him to show up in court. So, the mayor and I were...
Attention that he's not going to.
No, I mean, he's made it quite clear to the judge that he has no intentions of doing anything with this. So, I mean, it's like skating uphill with these projects. We have Mr. Mosier, the engineer, now he showed up at least 3 or 4 times for court here and has been canceled. And he hasn't sent us a bill yet, and he hasn't said anything, but how many times am I gonna ask this guy to show up to testify, and it gets canceled at the last minute? You know, after a while, they're just not gonna show up.
Yeah.
I talked with the mayor about this, and we're supposed to, I gotta call the village attorney and see if we can go at this at a different way and try to make this a criminal matter versus a civil matter.
Well, how many times can you just simply refuse to not show up for court?
It's indefinite. There's
civil.
no warrants, there's no jail time associated with it, so the judges can't issue a warrant to have him picked up.
So even though the engineer has deemed the building unsafe,
Yeah. Because
that's not criminal?
no,
Not until it falls and hurts somebody,
yeah.
essentially.
So I think what we need to do is look at, actually, we need to look at a lot of these codes that we have in our books. I mean, some of these things, the max you can get is a $25 fine. What the hell are you gonna do with a $25 fine? People are gonna laugh at you.
Doesn't even pay the court costs.
Yeah.
Is it strictly our codes or is it the state regulations?
Well, some are the codes, the state regulations are much stiffer, but there's also a higher bar that you have to meet. I don't know, we need to talk to the village attorney and see if we can do something with our codes in conjunction with the state building codes
Right.
and come up with something that's gonna have some teeth. Because, I mean, we're just wasting our time here. I mean, we're probably gonna take a loss on this one here, but there's more coming down the road that we need to be prepared for, I think.
Oh, I agree with you. I know there's more coming down the road.
Yeah.
This is not gonna be the end of it.
So we have sent him a bill for the yearly rent on that fence. Will it be addressed? Probably not, but it will be placed on the property
Mm-hmm.
for reimbursement from
For
the
the
county.
on the tax roll.
Yeah.
At least that's something.
Well,
It's kind of frustrating, really.
well, if we'll sit
So what do we
down.
need to do to look at this stuff then, Mike? What do we need to do to move forward here? 'Cause
Well, I want to talk with the attorney, with the mayor, and come up with a game plan of what can we do legally, and, you know, exactly what's it gonna cost and what's involved. I don't know, I'm not an attorney, so. But according to the judge, if it was a criminal matter, which apparently it can be, there would be a whole lot more teeth in the law. And the range of fines would be a lot greater than just, say, a flat. I mean, in this case here, the most you could fine would be $200. Now, I'm sure we spent more than $200. Not that you're looking to make money on it or break even, because you never will, but you have to have some incentive to make these things comply. Otherwise, we're fighting a losing
Right,
battle.
they cover these court costs that everyone else is having to pay for, yeah.
Well, I don't know that they will, but they'll go a long ways to help if the fines were
Right.
quite a bit more.
We'll see what Mr. Murnane has to offer,
Yeah.
and obviously we need to change some of our building codes. and
Would there also be a state agency that would be able to assist in this? Would Nikon be able to give any assistance?
Maybe some municipalities have changed their laws to beef up the enforcement of these buildings. But a lot of it is the zombie stuff where
It's bank
they're going after the
foreclosures.
banks and not the individuals so much.
Well, it's so hard to try to revitalize a village
Yeah.
when your hands are tied and you can't get people to show up for court.
Mhm.
How do you revitalize when you have property that looks like that?
I know, and that's why I'm thinking there must be an agency, or maybe Nikon has dealt with this, and we belong to them, and we wouldn't have to spend money for that,
Yeah, we can call in and ask.
and see if there's any assistance, without spending attorney fees, and go from there.
Juanita, can you check with NICOM to see if there's any municipalities that have addressed this and maybe who we can go to? What luck they've had and we definitely need to get off the bench here and
Yeah, yeah. And
put some,
if it's a case of the state regulations not having enough teeth, then we're gonna need to go to
Right.
our legislators and see if they can help us. Or a assemblyman, be a good place to start.
Seems like Betty Little was instrumental in some of these,
Yeah.
in that zombie law and in that.
Well, I did speak with her representative last week on another issue, and I brought this particular deal here up. And because this is not a foreclosure and it's not owned by a bank, we clearly know who the owner is, where these zombie laws are designed for absentee owners or bank-owned properties. So that, the zombie law that they passed has no bearing on this project here. But she's supposed to be emailing me some other stuff also, so I'm waiting for that, to see exactly what's involved with that.
and the fact that, you know, they own other properties as well and seeing the same deterioration occurring that needs to be addressed. And we allow it. It's just we gotta come up with something.
Well, I wouldn't say that we allow it. I feel that we're being bound by laws that aren't allowing us to really move forward with what needs to be done.
Right.
The laws aren't slanted in our favor. They're slanted for the property owners or these people because I've said it more than once, if you're local, you get hammered in the courts, but if you're from out of town, you get away with everything. And this is a clear case of what's happening here.
Okay.
Well,
See what we can do, continue. Frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Supposed to give us notice, Larry, maybe we'll push it over.
I'm not gonna go on record saying anything.
Yeah.
Anything else for Mike? Questions, comments?
No, thanks, Mike.
All right. Take a deep breath. Good evening. As we come to the end of 2016, I would like to tell you that the village has been very busy this year, and 2017 looks like it will be very busy as well. The water project is moving forward quite well, and the expectation is that work on the new water softening plant will begin as soon as the weather allows. We can expect completion of the entire construction phase of this long, sometimes frustrating experience sometime in the early fall of 2017. We hope. Pregnant pause. As
9 months
promised,
pregnant?
this will provide us with better water pressure, better fire protection, and softer water for all our water users. Your continued patience with this whole undertaking has been great, and we appreciate it as we come closer to the finish line. The village itself has had a very good year with many events enjoyed by our residents and visitors from outside the village. The Champlain Meeting House has been very busy with many events of interest for both children and adults of the community and beyond. I would like to thank Janet and Clark for all their efforts to provide a venue where folks can learn new things, enjoy many activities, and sometimes just to visit with old friends and listen to stories of the past glories of the village of Champlain. The village hosted many events that were enjoyed by all attending. Music in the Billrow Park, our annual Village Fest, having the longboat experience twice a week, playground improvements, our community garden, and our Christmas tree lighting that was enjoyed by all this past weekend. I realize that I am without a doubt omitting some important events, but the point to be made here is this village has much to offer, continues to move forward to benefit our residents, and will continue to grow in the future. Next year, progress will continue as the ongoing river revitalization program looks at ways to improve the village's image, to make it more attractive for businesses and residential growth. We will take a close look at our zoning and make the necessary changes to increase downtown attractiveness for investors and for others who will see the village as a place that can sustain new business and encourage building owners that it is in their best interest to rehabilitate the buildings that can be or demolish those that can't be brought into code compliance. Much can and will be done to help make this village residential and business friendly. If I could go back to last weekend's tree lighting, this event was so well attended and the remarks were so positive and appreciated that it shows how much these outings mean to our children, to see Santa Claus arrive in a fire truck, the opportunity to talk with Santa, and enjoy the holiday music and a cup of hot chocolate and a candy cane and some munchkins. Saturday, December 10th was a day for the kids to have fun and enjoy themselves, and thank you for your planning.
You're welcome.
There are many thank yous to the people and businesses that make these events possible, because without their generosity, it would be very difficult to have these great times. First, I would like to thank the businesses who are always very generous, Borderview Grocery for donating a Christmas tree, the star of the tree lighting, as well as a gift card to Subway, Dunkin' Donuts for the hot chocolate and munchkins, Kenny Drugs for crayons and candy canes, Valaros for eggnog and juice. And a big thank you goes out to Juanita, Mary, the DPW crew, and the many others, Lori, who did the running for hot chocolate and helping set up and tear down before and after the event. A thank you to the Champlain Fire Department and Pete Timmons for providing a fire truck so Santa Claus could arrive in style. And finally, our heartfelt thanks to Santa, a person everyone wanted to spend a few moments with and experience what the holiday means to us all, especially our children. This gentleman goes above and beyond, always ready to be part of the spirit of Christmas and to pass on his love of the holidays and making this a positive experience again for the children. Santa, a big thank you, and we will see you again next year. With that, happy holidays to everyone, and thank you. Trustee Gary.
So the judging has begun for the house decorating contest. It will be finalized Friday. Is that when you need it by? Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, it's being announced on Saturday.
Okay. So we'll be done Friday with the judging, so please leave your lights on for the evening hours between 5 and 9 p.m. this week. So your home is sure to be judged no matter when the judges go by. So there's 4 categories this year. Is the best overall display, which will encompass your home looking just as nice in daylight hours as in the evening with the light display. Then the next category is for best light display on the home, how it looks best in the evening hours. And the third category is best daytime display, how it looks without lights. And final, for those who may not own a home but are renting, would be the best window display. So we'll be taking a look at windows throughout the community as well. So it's starting. I think some people were doing some final things this past week, and if it's not up now, then I'm going to assume it's not going to be up. But I too want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and lots of great health and happiness in the new year. We have a lot to be thankful for, and we hope that you have a great year.
Thank you. Tom?
I'll have to report, I want to thank the DPW crew for decorating the park. It sure looks nice, as always. Well, thank you to the guys and all of you for doing the tree lighting, because that is quite an event, and I wasn't part of it again, so. Yeah, it was good.
Better turnout every year.
And it was cold,
It was cold.
so I was impressed with the
Sleigh
turnout.
ride,
Yeah.
or the tractor ride.
Yes, that's coming up. Yeah, so I was looking at my calendar. December 23rd at 5 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus Hall at the Champlain Catholic Men's Club will be our annual hayride and caroling fun night for all the public. It's turned into a big community event, so the guys are ready and they're looking forward to it.
It's good.
So I'll come down. 5 o'clock. It starts at 5 and it usually goes for a couple hours. They will just keep making rounds. And there'll be refreshments at the hall. And it's usually enjoyed by adults and children. And yes, Santa will be there as well. So that's the 23rd at 5 p.m. And as far as for the window and the door project, they delivered today, so they're supposed to start tomorrow. And he's gonna coordinate with you when he gets inside, but these windows on the first floor are all new construction windows, and the way he explained it to me, he'll be installing on the outside first before he removes any sashes, so you're not gonna have any cold air. You're not gonna be froze out of here.
Nice.
That'll be good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and he said all these downstairs windows are being done with new construction, so.
You look skeptical.
She will be disturbed for a day when
I
he
wanna
does the
see it
interior
too.
work.
Once you take the
And the
mittens
doors.
off.
He didn't mention the doors today, but I'm sure he has those all set.
Yeah, the last time I spoke with them, the doors were behind by a week, but they should be in now.
And we watch them truck the windows up.
You can shut that door and window anyway.
won't be too bad.
Yeah.
Especially, you know,
And when he does the door, there'll be an opening for, if it's real cold, I'm sure he'll tarp it off or whatever.
We'll serve.
Yeah. So anyways, that's starting, so that's good.
Yep.
And I also want to wish everybody in the village a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and the best of health, most important thing in the world.
Okay, thank you. Madame?
As the mayor mentioned, the Waterfront Revitalization Study Committee has been meeting. We've narrowed the focus pretty much to the playground park and just the downtown area. We're going to have the public meeting is on January 25th. I wrote 26th, but it's the 25th at 6:30 at the, I'm not supposed to say KFC anymore?
Champlain Catholic Men's Club.
What he said. So January 25th. I highly recommend you come because we would like some more input before the final plan comes out, the final recommendations come out. As far as events, this Wednesday, we're going to try to go Christmas caroling, meeting at the Champlain Meeting House at 6:30. We'll see who shows up and what the weather is like. This is the final week for the wreath decorating contest, so if you want to enter a wreath, you need to bring it here to this office on Friday. There's going to be a community holiday gathering on Saturday, the 17th, from 1:30 to 3. Everyone's welcome. Music is going to be provided by Ron Gregoire and Ron Duffy. And it's just going to be a get-together with cookies and punch and a chance for people to interact and socialize a little bit. And then at the end of that, we'll announce the decorating contest and the wreath decorating contest. And there's a story hour on June 6th.
June 6th, we're playing far ahead, aren't we?
It would be on January 6th. This is when I make my A's like U's. January 6th. At, le 6 janvier at 6:30. I almost said Cesare de me.
That's all right, well understood.
Yeah, that's all right. And I think that's it. Yeah, and I just would like to thank everyone who helped with the kids' activities, including Amy, who ran the candy cane hunt.
Yes.
It was so exciting, and you did such a fantastic job. We probably had 35 to 40 kids there.
Because I went back 6 times.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, and we had an abundance of candy canes this year.
Yeah.
So it was
It was
really,
great.
really fun. So I appreciate your help, Amy, in
It was
that.
fun.
That was really fun. And then Nikki and Tricia helping with the kids' activities.
Incredible.
Again, it was incredible, that's right. We had so many little kids in there, and they were so polite, well-behaved. It was really a good time. Yeah.
It helps when the parents stay.
Yeah, and a lot of grandparents come too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a family thing. And then thanks to everybody for all the work on the tree lighting. It was incredible too. What a great group. Big turnout. And Merry Christmas and Joyeux Noel, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Kim?
Well, unfortunately, my schedule doesn't allow me to be at the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, but I drove by as I was.
You were there and thought.
I was there and thought I was, yes, but unfortunately my schedule didn't allow and I felt very bad, but I'm glad it was a good turnout. And about the only other thing that I have is I just wanted to let everyone know, December 4th we had the senior citizens, the Town of Champlain Senior Citizens Christmas dinner. And we served 150
Wow.
seniors.
Wow.
It was it was delicious. It was packed, and the Knights of Columbus, I can't use that term.
Yes, definitely.
With the Catholic Daughters put it on and share the cost, so it was free to the public, to the seniors, and it was a wonderful dinner. And people, the event starts at 4, and people were there at 5 after 3.
Oh my gosh.
So it was really nice. The Champlain Catholic Men's Club was very nicely decorated, and they enjoyed some cheer and had a wonderful dinner, and so it was really, really nice turnout.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great, thanks for doing that.
well, it's a lot of fun,
Yeah, it is.
so,
It is.
it's a lot of work for the guys that get in the kitchen, but, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
You in the kitchen?
Yeah, I was there. When it didn't work, I was there.
Good job.
Oh, yeah, he was in the kitchen,
Good.
I was on the floor.
Very good. Have the report from the clerk treasurer, please.
Everybody has their expense and revenue report for November 2016, which is half a year, and I think we're pretty much on target.
Looks like it. Yeah.
But we do have to make one transfer, due to the fact that we're doing our windows and doors.
Is that what this negative is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So I'd like to transfer $26,000 from the fund balance, A909, to A1640.4, which is the central garage, to do the doors and the windows.
Mhm.
I make a motion to do that transfer, 26,000 from A 909.9 to A 1640.4 in the amount of 26,000.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee McFetrich.
Aye.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor Martin.
Aye. Need a motion to approve an additional $75 payable to Bayside Chimney. This project out here with this fencing, or not fencing, but pointing up the bricks and a few other things became a bit more expensive than what we allocated. We originally allocated $2,000 for this. They came back 3 days, spent 3 long days here on the north, the south, and the front of this building. And the bill was $75 more than we allocated. I think they did a very good job as we looked at, as you look at the front.
Mhm.
They did a very good job, and you'll notice that in the warrant, there's a $700 payment, and the $75 is just extra. We've already sent that, so. I'd like a motion to approve that additional $75 payable.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Is there any other discussion here? Roll call, please.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee McFetrich.
Aye.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor Martin.
Aye. Presentation of the warrant payment.
We have additional invoices. To be added to the warrant for a total of $24,544.69.
544?
544.
What was that?
Oh yeah, Greg, after you left, we had an invoice that came in for Endine
Okay.
for $140. And yours was the only slip that wasn't in there.
Keep me in the dark. 544.69. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any discussion on the warrant? Need a motion first.
Make a motion that we approve the warrant with the additional invoices in the amount of $24,544.69.
Have a second?
Second.
Now we can have discussion.
What's the clean water? Boy, that's a silly question.
It's Aquamag.
Chemicals for the
Yeah,
water.
it's called clean waters.
Yeah. That's the
Okay.
first.
I don't
That's
think I've
just
ever
my
seen it.
question too, I was just thinking, oh,
Yeah.
I've seen it, I never noticed it.
That and Slack Chemicals are our suppliers.
Mhm.
okay.
Anything?
Is that a first for me? Is that
No.
what you're looking my way?
No.
Yeah, I was waiting.
I didn't see anything.
I was glancing a little more carefully, thinking, well,
What did I miss?
She must have missed something. Okay, if there's no discussion, have a roll call, please.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee McFetrich.
Aye.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor Martin.
Aye. Mr. Superintendent?
I didn't do a report this month. It's probably easy to tell you what I didn't do. We didn't do any lawn mowing, we didn't do any painting. It's been very busy. Right now we're, of course, with plowing in the snow removal. We've been plowing our sidewalks. I just got parts in for our sander for our sidewalk. Our sander's been broke, so we haven't been able to put sand down on the sidewalk. We did get our flags down. I know they were starting to get in pretty bad shape. Christmas decorations went up. We took down a big elm tree on Kane Street. Big limb fell off, almost hit a car. I was able to get a hold of NYSEG, and they had Asplin or Nelson come out the next morning and remove that big dead tree on Kane. So that's the one hazard that's gone. This water project is keeping all of us pretty out straight. There's a lot to do, a lot to try to keep up with. As of now, Eden Lane has been opened up. They have water. Two of the homes already have meters installed. They're already on village water, town water. We did flow testing. Actually, today we opened up Pocket Boulevard to Route 11. And as of right now, there's flowable water, water that's passed all the way up to, including the hydrants by Parker Chevrolet. So we have water all the way up there on our new lines. I did work with Hudson Headwaters today. They're working on getting flow testing done so they can size the line size for inside their building so they can move forward with that. I did meet with the sprinkler people and we did the testing today, so hopefully they can move forward. We've been pretty busy with meter installs. We've got almost all the pits done, a few more, and we'll have all the pits in the town and the village done. And as far as the house meters go, we're, I'd say another week or so, we should be done, maybe a couple weeks on this side of the river, and we'll be moving to the other side, on this end of town. We still got a long ways to go, but they've been going rather well. We did start reading water meters today, that time of the year again, so we're out reading meters. I know we're starting with our new radio read equipment. We had a few glitches, and the fella that's helping us work through them, he's supposed to come back up. Of course, we're in a transition period, we're in a changeover between, we still have some old manual mechanical readers, we have some touchpads, and then we have some radios, so we're right in the transition phase right now, but hopefully by the next reading, most of them will, or all of them will hopefully be in and going. I just want to mention, there's a few places that people are leaving their cars on the village streets when we need to plow. A few of them I had to warn. I see this morning they were not parked there because I had already stopped twice, and I said next time we're just going to have it towed. And a few places, people are cleaning around their cars and throwing the snow into the streets. I told them it can't be like that either. You know, they gotta move their cars on the sides, and we'll clean it out. That's all I have, and I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, I, for one, would like to say that I will be extremely thankful when this water project construction stops for the year, so that it will free you up a little bit.
Yeah.
You're doing a tremendous job,
Absolutely.
and you worry too much about everything. And I would really like to see this project stop for a few months to give you a breather.
I was sick of the same. He needs a breather.
We're still going. It's been busy, there's no doubt, but
Yes,
we're,
it's been tough on you.
you know,
It's been tough, but thank you.
Thanks,
You're
Mike.
welcome.
Thank
Thanks-
you very
thanks,
much.
Mike.
Yeah, thanks for your dedication, your loyalty.
Okay, correspondence.
We only have one correspondence, and that's the JCO monthly report.
Let's see how busy she is.
Yes.
Oh, that's-
This is November, so that includes Thanksgiving as well.
And she's been very busy with the heat and Christmas dinner.
Yeah. Wait till next month's figures, this will be surprising.
I think she said they had 99 families with Christmas Carol.
Wow. Yeah, families.
Yes.
Okay, old business, I haven't had the opportunity to sit down with Mike, he's hard to catch, and Woody, and come up with, that's why we haven't called you to sit you down here. We will set up a meeting with a representative from one or more of the blower companies to come up and sit with us. Once we, I think the four of us could sit down and kind of come up with some idea of what we're looking for. What type of blower that we're looking for, and, you know, what'll be most cost effective for us. And then we can get that out maybe and put that out to bid maybe in February and get some response so that we can, hopefully we can get that accomplished this summer. I'm sure that those motors down there are on a wing and a prayer at this point. Second part of old business, we have a contract with River Street Planning and Zoning updates. I think we've all been copied with that, am I correct? Okay, I know we have passed this at a previous meeting, and we set a limit up to amount. I guess what I'm looking for tonight is a resolution that I can sign this and we can send this back and get it back to the River Street Planning so that we can get started on this zoning. So I need a resolution to spend this money.
Need a motion,
We need a motion, not a resolution, a motion to.
Just to sign the contract.
We've already did approved up to a certain amount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last month we did
Yeah,
it.
can-
Yeah,
do you remember
I think
what it
Amy-
was?
7,500.
Is that what, oh, is it really?
No, in our minutes.
Okay.
I
In the
think
minutes, I
in
thought
the
it
minutes,
was-
I thought it was 8, was it 8?
8 or 10.
Yeah, it was more.
Yeah, that, so
12.
you're saying that this,
Spend up to $10,000
Yeah.
okay.
of our fund balance to revisit our downtown zoning laws.
Okay, we weren't sure on the amount.
So this contract is for 7,500.
Yep.
So that's my question, then, is the motion for just the 7,500 or?
Make it both.
Make the motion to allow.
Him to
Right,
sign
to
this.
sign.
Yeah.
Sign the contract,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
The
make a-
contract stating
Right.
7,500.
So I make a motion that, to accept this contract and allow the mayor to sign it for a fee stated of 7,500,
Not to exceed 10,000.
not to exceed $10,000.
No, the contract
Well, the
is for
contract is for
7,500,
7,500.
period.
But she's saying not to exceed the 10,000 we previously.
Is there going to be additional or?
No.
This
No,
one,
No,
this
it
one-
one,
specifically
Okay,
says
this one
will
says-
not exceed.
yeah, this one says not to exceed
Yep.
the fee of
Okay.
7,500.
I'll second Tom's motion.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I got some questions on the
Okay.
insurance piece. So is it my understanding that all three people in this agreement, the principal planner, the planner, and clerical, will all carry these $1 million policies on themselves?
That's what it looks like, yes.
I believe that's what River Street does.
Okay, that's huge. I mean, that's a big
Yeah.
portion of this $7,500.
Each subcontractor will warrant that it will maintain continuous equivalent coverage until completion of the work. And I think this, I like this, aim for at least 3 years after contract completion.
Right, I see that,
So that if there's any
number 2.
problems down the road. And I'm assuming that we will get certificates naming the village as a co-insured. Okay?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee McFetrich.
Aye.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor Martin.
Aye. New business, we have a shared services contract. This is we have signed this in the past. shared services contract with municipalities for highway departments. You notice that there's a large number there. Do we have to send one to each?
Yeah,
Two to each.
Two to each.
Two to each, and they sign and send it back to us, so, just so that's a general informational thing, to let you know that I'm going to sign this, as well as Mike.
Do you need a motion?
I don't think so.
No, we already had one with the town of Plattsburgh,
Right.
but, apparently it gets signed to all the individual municipalities, and we started getting some from
Others?
others, so.
Oh, well, we better do it, huh? It's good.
I think we do need to have a motion to have you sign it. That's what all the other.
Okay, just so you can
municipalities
certify it?
as well.
Yeah, motion
Alright.
to.
Make a motion to approve Greg's signature upon this shared service contract with municipalities for the highway departments, November 2016 to November 2021.
Second.
16, something, whatever. Okay?
Yep.
Have a second?
I did.
Okay, good. Any other discussion, further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we just received paperwork from our insurance company. Just so you know, this will have to be approved because there's still some changes that we have to make. I'm dropping a couple things on the insurance policy and adding a couple things on the insurance policy. We're dropping the longboat insurance. We don't have them any longer, so we need to insure them. And we have to add the surveillance cameras that we haven't added before. I didn't want them put on there until after they had finished. So that insurance will be put on our new insurance policy. There are a couple increases. The overall insurance goes up about $1,200.
Was it 12 or 15, somewhere?
Okay, somewhere in that area, mostly because we increased the value of our buildings and machinery that were grossly underinsured. So we brought those up by over $500,000. This year is the first year for the new vehicle, so that caused an increase. Plus, because of the 5-year loss ratio, the account went up 346%. So if you have an account at $20,000 and you spent $50,000 or whatever the cost may be, there were a couple obvious incidents where the insurance company had to pay out a great deal of money, mostly with motorcycle riders. So that caused us an increase, but it's, you say the 346%, but it really wasn't all that much money. They automatically add a 5% increase as they look at our budget. So that's added automatically to increase our coverage as we progress with our budgets going up a little bit. We are in the second year. Last year we decided that we would do a 2-year plan with PERMA. We are on this is the beginning of the second year of that plan. So that has been, I think, cost effective for us overall by doing it 2 years in 2 years together rather than one or the other. At the moment, the only outstanding claims that we have is for the motorcycle accident that has not been completely settled at this point. So that everything else has been cleared from the books. It's just that they keep it on here for what, 5 years, Juanita?
Yep.
It's kept on the books for 5 years, so. As soon as the adjustments are made, will be later this month, I'll come back with this insurance policy to approve it for next month. Just so you know where that's at.
I've got something to bring up if it's a good time.
Yep.
When you said new vehicle, it reminded me, I want to talk about it. Both of our new trucks, the 1 ton and the pickup, neither one have our village logo on. Can we take care of that? I see them
We
out.
had them on there, but it fell off.
One of them, no, neither one, the Ford, most of it's.
The new one hasn't.
No,
I thought we put one on, a logo on the 1 ton.
no.
No?
Because I see those in the village all the time, and it, you know, I always look to see if it's our guys or not.
Me too.
And I think they should be identified, you know, that they're
Take
somebody's
care of
house
that,
putting a
Mike.
meter in or whatever, and
Yeah.
I really think we need identification on
Well,
them.
I mean, the plates are, but they say
Yeah.
Village of Champlain.
Yeah, you see a lot of weight 1 ton dump trucks.
They pull up to a house or something.
Yeah.
People look out the window and they see it's a village truck rather than just a
Exactly.
Right.
unmarked vehicle. It just makes it a lot.
Well, I think it's the right thing, we should have all our equipment
Yeah.
labeled, so.
I mean, that was our reason.
Was that vinyl on the other trucks?
Yeah, and the pressure washer peels them off.
Did we have Jess do those, or?
Yeah, I haven't had any since I've been here.
I didn't think so, so we need to,
She did the ones for the town, and they don't have any trouble with those. I don't know. what
so
she-
do we need
But the ones
a
that
motion
were
to
old,
spend funds for
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
To,
I
Let's see
don't know
what
if
they
they're
are
vinyl or if they stick on or
I'm
what.
sure it's probably vinyl.
Glad someone else
They never
noticed
come
that,
off.
I was thinking
No,
about that too.
I wanted to bring it up last month, and I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah,
Wash
I
it
forgot.
three times.
Let's
So
see
maybe
what
we could get some quotes for the January meeting and vote on it in January?
Let's see what he can find and we can
Okay.
go
I know,
from there.
I know you're busy, but if you could
Fine,
get a
yeah.
quote from,
They'll come here and do it even, you know, just for
oh,
them
yeah,
to do it. Just say
yeah,
this one,
exactly,
we're looking for this and, you know, what will it be?
yeah.
Any idea of the cost?
Off the top of my head, no, I don't.
Okay, well, we'll get some cost and we'll come back in January and address it.
Yeah, and if you think we should have it on the loader as well, because that's always out and about, I think you should, myself, I think we should have it on the loader.
Should be highlighted, yes.
The loader and the backhoe, because they're always out and about doing stuff. Okay.
All right, thank you. The next item I have under new business is a NYSERDA. We were contacted with, from the Clean Energy Community Coordinator. He came up, spent a few minutes talking with us here, and there are some things that we need to look at. Janet, you could probably explain this much better than I can.
Okay, I think you all got, yeah, everyone has the high impact actions. The way this works is that there are 10 actions that are put out by NYSERDA, that if you accomplish 4 out of the 10, the community can become a clean energy community, and what that does is that allows you then to be able to get some additional funding. It's not a guarantee, but it sounded like it was a good possibility. He spent quite a bit of time going over each one of these action items and identified 4 that he thought that we would be able to accomplish. And I mean, I can go through them, but this man said that he would be willing to come back and do the presentation with you. So I think if you don't mind him coming in January, he'll explain it better than I would.
Which 4 did they identify?
The first one, adopting a policy.
Mhm.
They already have a template for a policy, and he said we probably would fit most of it, would fit right into it. And you can actually see all of this online, and it's explained very well too. The 1, 2, 3,
6.
4. The fourth one, electric vehicle charging stations.
Mhm.
Apparently Price Chopper in Plattsburgh has those.
Yes.
Yeah, I put them a couple years ago.
Yeah, so we were talking about the possibility of having, he said you have to have 2. The 6th one is a unified solar permit. And again, that's something that the state has already put out, and it would be something that we would adopt. And then this next one is the energy code enforcement training. Actually, Mike, have either one of you been involved in any kind of training in energy code best practices?
Every year.
Well, he said that you probably had,
Yeah.
so some of that we've probably already done, he said. And those are the 4 that he recommended.
Was the recommendation 4 people? 4 people be certified in that?
Yeah, more people than just that, but
Yeah.
it's good to know that we already have. we already have somebody. And I think what Greg and I were thinking that is if we do qualify to get one of the big grants, that we could use it for the lighting, for the streetlights, for the LED lights, is that what they
Yeah.
are?
LED.
Yeah, because those are so expensive, but the savings would be good. And we could apply the grant money to that, if we get it.
One of the things that he mentioned was that there will be 18 awards in this region. This is Essex, Franklin, and Clinton counties. 4 awards are for communities with a population of 40,000 or more, which kind of limits the number. And then there will be 14 smaller community awards, which we fit in that category. Dealing with natural gas, electricity use, and then one of the recommendations that he had was to have JCEO come in and do an energy audit for these buildings. You know, they come in and they check for drafts, they check for, you know, all of this stuff. And that would give us, or give him, a better idea of how he could approach some of our savings or recommendations for savings. He's very good. I would like to see him come back if the board agrees. To spend a few minutes with us in January and talk about some of these programs, because I think it can save us some money.
And it doesn't hurt at all when that have bragging rights to be a clean energy community.
No, it doesn't. But like these charging stations, we have to put those under our expense, or is there any funding to help with that?
I'm not really sure,
Yeah.
I don't remember him saying how they would be funded.
no.
I'm sure that, I would think that there's possibility of some grant money
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, there's
It's
something
probably a
like,
matching
If you
grant.
get
there's something like
cooperation from Bryce
$800
Chopper.
a piece to put in or something like that, and that's real cheap.
Right. So, can we contact him and have him come back in January if he's,
Yeah, oh,
he's
definitely.
quite willing to come up again and visit?
Yeah. He was quite excited about it.
Yeah,
He was the mayor of Lake Placid.
Oh.
Am I right?
all
Or
right.
Saranac Lake?
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid. What?
We're talking politics.
Yeah, okay. This next one, did we copy everybody on this resolution from the town and the county?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I would like to have a resolution from the village board that supports the town and the county getting involved in this, looking for grant money to deal with the dredging in the mouth of the Shazy River. The town has already passed this, I believe, in last August, and the county has already passed this in September. I would entertain a motion, a resolution, or a motion for a resolution to give the village of Champlain's support to this development and implementation of the dredging plan for the mouth of the Great Shazy River.
So moved. Right,
And we'll just have a second,
Second.
and we'll just type up something, a letter of support for this project.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Any further discussion on that?
I worked that last time.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
77.
The last thing that I have on my agenda is 7 of the 8 cameras are operational through the office here. Thank you for picking up that laptop. That is being worked on to whatever it takes to make that work on this system. We can just run a cord into the laptop on Mike's desk, or we can put another monitor up on the wall so we don't have to deal with that, whatever, but let's start with the laptop. The 8th camera down in the water plant, since they couldn't get a good signal, what they're going to do is they're putting the camera up They are putting a receiver in the water plant to record everything that happens down there, any issues. If we have an issue at the water plant, we'll pull the, is it a SIMS card?
You can see it there.
We can pull the card out, bring it up here and check it out. They will come back in the spring and make the antennas work, so to speak, to get a good signal. There's some issues there, but they will come back in the spring and make sure that the project is 100% complete, and we are happy with it. They are supposed to come back sometime this week.
He didn't tell, I didn't see him when he left.
I think
so-
it's this week, with his supervisor to go over the job, and the supervisor and I will have a quite candid discussion on how long it has taken this job to get accomplished. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not real happy with the job, but
Well, our warranty will not begin till this is 100%
until this is 100%,
complete.
yes, we still have half the funding. We still have half the funding. When they come back and give us the okay in this week and go over the project and listen to me harp on them for a bit, I think that we can pay them the final payment and then go from there.
So the cameras are operating, but
Yes.
not great quality, is that what
Oh,
you're
it's
saying?
very good quality.
Oh, very good quality.
Except for
seven
that
here.
one.
Except for that one.
The
So-
7
so
here are
is it-
very good quality.
So is the antenna to address that one, is that it?
Yes, to come back in the spring and
Okay.
make the
They
signal.
They wanna, we were gonna put a repeater on a pole, Lacey's pole, I got permission, but instead they're waiting till the water plant, the new plant gets up and going. Once they run communications in there, they're gonna use that communication, to send it back here. They'll be putting, there's gonna be SCADA and stuff, so there's gonna be Ethernet or cable to the, which we don't have, what they need to get it back here. Right now they're trying to send it wirelessly. There's a row of trees right in the way. Right now we're good. When the foliage comes back on, so. But we were gonna use it, jump to another tower and then back to here, but it was gonna be easier for them. I think instead of putting it on a pole and not needing it after, to put something to monitor just that one camera down there. So it's being recorded, so at least you can capture
So
that
they probably won't
information.
have to change the antenna at all then, if they're able to do that.
After, they probably won't. I don't know, they had to change a bunch of antennas when they came back. They're shooting them all from one, they're shooting like 4 of them to one location and then back to here. They found it was easier to go that way. They changed the antennas to shoot where it was denser and one was a little closer. Some of them didn't have good line of sight, so they're using like one antenna and shooting the other one to that antenna, then bouncing it back to here. So they just had to change their antenna types and whatnot. They've been here a few times.
So they have corrected what
Yeah,
major
they-
problems were.
Yes,
Yeah.
they came twice last week.
Yeah.
They were here to try to fix.
Images on the cameras are, of the ones, the 7 that is very clear. You can check it
Okay.
out in there if you want.
Okay.
It's very clear. So with your approval, I will walk the site with the supervisor, explain our concerns, and then get something from them in writing that they will be back in the spring to complete that one segment of the job, and to pay them and move on.
So if you pay them and move on, then when you get that agreement, will clearly state in there that there will be no additional charges when they
Yes.
come back to fix this.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm not really comfortable with paying them in full.
Well, we can always keep
Without it being
we can always
complete.
keep a retainage.
It's always hard to get them
We can
back.
always keep 10% or something back. Well, they're in kind of a, how do I want to say this and be polite? They're in kind of a complimentary mood because they have a very large job coming up at the Northeastern School, at the high school, junior high, with a new camera system and a whole new set of things that's going in there. So I will suggest a 10% retainage until the job is complete.
I'm comfortable with that.
Oh, a check is already
Hmm?
reading the same from last year's
Really
budget.
check last May.
No problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's,
Burn it, start moving.
that will ensure that they will come back and finish the job. You made a point of saying, we'll put the receiver in the water plant and all of this at no charge. Well, it should be at no charge, it's been since April at this point.
We wanna make sure after, if we put cameras in the water tanks, the new tanks, that they'll receive back here.
Well, that, and that's going to be at the expense of the town.
I'm in favor of holding some funds back.
Okay.
Too many times, as I'm sure everyone who's had any kind of a project done at their home sometimes, find and pay, and then you need something fixed, and it's not always easy to get someone back.
Especially if they're in the middle of something bigger
Yeah,
Bigger and
when the
better.
time comes.
bigger and better, more
Look how
lucrative.
this got, we got, you know, we'll be there this week, and this week turned into next month,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and
it's
turned into
not,
next month, and, you know, it just went on.
and now it's the dead of winter.
So,
Well, no leaves now, it's easier to get signal.
yeah,
Yeah,
Now, when we're doing the thick of things,
Well, unfortunately, we got trees.
well, that's what I'm worried about, when we get heavy foliage next year, that we're gonna have issues with picking up signals. I mean, now, look how great we've got it, I know, but there's no leaves anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
so do you want to, are we okay with the 10% retainage?
Yes.
Mhm.
Are we on 10% of the total job, or 10% of what we owe them?
Oh, wait, 10% what's remaining, I guess, I don't know.
We owe them half. It was 42,000?
So that'd be 5% of the total.
Well, how many,
It's not bad.
wait now?
5% of the total, or 10% of the, what we left?
Yeah,
What's
that's
left
what,
is
that's
the
what,
same.
that's what, same thing, as I said,
Okay.
it's the 5% of the total if we retain 10% of the remaining funds.
Okay, let's go with 10% of what's remaining then.
Okay.
That'll be about 2,200. Okay? Shared services, insurance, NYSERDA, draft agreement, supporting resolution, town and county, NCC, resolution to pay Bayside. If there's no other issues to come before the board, a motion to adjourn.
Just a question for Mike real quick. There was a lot of discussion with everybody being downtown this weekend
Yeah.
for the ice rink, hoping that any possibility of that happening for Christmas break.
Depending on the weather, I mean.
Well, I know that, but you
Doesn't
gotta
look
get the
good.
stuff laid out.
It doesn't look good. I don't know, we'll have to see as it gets
Maybe we can
closer.
get some volunteers to put the, you know, to put the,
I'm sure we
to put the
could.
frame up and put the plastic down, and then, you know, we
Thing
can
is-
all go down at night if it's cold
They
and
don't,
take a turn of flooding that,
I mean, it's no problem flooding, it's just that we have to get enough, it has to be thin layers, you have to get enough on there.
yeah,
Cause if they get on there, they'll ruin it.
yeah.
Um,
Is it-
I know
is
the
it
person
something-
who was great at making skating rinks.
yep, I
He
do too.
does a wonderful job, he's even got a piece of equipment that puts the thin layer of
Zamboni.
That's right,
the automatic, or the walking Zamboni.
got our own Zamboni.
You do?
That's Clark knows how to do this.
He would help,
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, it all depends on our weather.
but you'd have
I
to
mean, we
get
got
the
a few
plastic
that-
and the boards
I
down.
mean,
We'll help.
they're ice fishing in Rouse's Point, it's been since Saturday, so
Huh?
That's
they're ice
great.
fishing by the bridge in Rouse's Point.
Mike, how likely is it that you'd have time to do the plastic and the boards? I mean, the water's
We'll
really,
just, we'll do what we gotta do, we'll make time. Just, temperature's gonna really what?
it's gonna be really
It's gonna
cold
be
later this
cold, yeah.
week.
I know.
Polar
after that,
vortex
we're
is
gonna
here, haven't you been paying attention?
Yeah.
These girls are gonna read meters and we're
40s
gonna
next
put
week.
ice rink up.
Okay,
We'll see. I don't wanna promise,
don't promise.
but
Yeah,
we'll
it's
do what we
alright.
can.
It just
I mean,
people were asking, so
People
I
are
I said I'd
It
ask.
depends on the weather, I
Right,
mean,
we said that.
There's a nice
we-
patch
and
of
we know
ice
you're
there right
busy.
now.
There
Amy.
is, and they were all over it, that nice little patch of ice.
Yes.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.